Okay. So now we understood the theory of the DHCP. Let us do the lab. So to do the lab of the DHCP, what I have done, I'm just using the existing server only, the domain controller. Okay, and I am just logged into the domain controller. See, I'm in the server manager. The same fashion to install the any roles, right? Whether it is a DHCP role, DNS role, file server printer, all the roles will be used, will be installed in this server manager itself. So now let me click on this add roles and features to install the DHCP. Okay. Before I install the DHCP, you see nothing is there called DHCP here. In the tools menu, if you go, you don't see anything called DHCP. Okay. Then we are good. I will just click on this add roles and features. I will click on next. I am going to install role based or feature based installation only, the first option. And I'm using the domain controller only to install the DHCP. Okay. And here, if you see, there is a service called DHCP server. I have to click on this DHCP server and I will say next, 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 and install. So once you click on install, the installation will begin. It will take around 20-30 seconds. See here, now the configuration required installation succeeded on dc01.google.com. And if you see here, there is an option called complete the DHCP configuration here. You have to click on that. Once you click on that, okay, you have to read the description. It says create the following security groups on delegation of DHCP server administration, all those things that happens. So you just have to say next, and you have to tell use the following users credentials. Means Google administrator is the complete administrator of the server and the services. You have to do that, say commit. So once you do the commit, that means you are authorized to do this activity. Then go to tools option here, and now if you click on the DHCP, you have the DHCP service installed. See, that is there in the DC01 only na. So we were using DC01 only, right? And if you just try to expand the DHCP, you have both the IP address versions. IPv4 is there, IPv6 is there. Correct, right? And you don't see any other scopes here. Correct. And the DHCP service is running. That is why it is green. Okay. If the DHCP is not running, okay. If say for example, if the DHCP is not running, then it won't be open like this. See, it will be like this. Cannot find the DHCP server if the service is not running. So what I will do, I will just right click on this, go to all tasks. I will start it again. Okay, this is I wanted to show you how the console looks whenever there is no DHCP server is running. Whenever the service is running, it will be like this. But you see IP version 4 and IP version 6, but you don't have any scopes only here. How to create a scope now? It is very easy. If it is IPv4, click on IPv4. You see all the options. See new scope, new multi-scope, configuration file over application, all those things are there. Similarly, if you right click on IPv6, all the you will get IPv6 related things. But we are learning IPv4. So let me go to IPv4 and right click and see create a new scope. And what I will do, I will call out a scope name called Wi-Fi hyphen Bangalore. Bangalore. See, Wi-Fi hyphen Bangalore. So I will say next. Whenever I say next, I told you know it will have start IP, end IP, and all. You have to define the start IP. My start IP is 192.168.1.12. 192.168.1.254. Okay, 1.254. I said it was 10, no, not 1. Sorry, I'll make it 10. In my example, I was giving 10. Okay, I'll make it 10 only. See, now if you see, starting from 1 to 254, there are around 254 IP address. Entire 254 IP address I have given it. Okay, I will show you later how to exclude. So let me give all 254. So I'll say next. And I told it will also have the exclusion. If you want to exclude the first 10 IP, 20 IP, you can do from here only. But I don't want to do it here. I'll show you in the once I completely create the scope. And see lease duration. By default, it is showing 8 days. 8 days, 0 hours, 0 minutes. I told by default 8 days. So let me say, and you can even change it. You can even make it 999 days also, 999 days also you can make it. Okay. So let me go with 8 days. Or you can even make 5 minutes also. See, 5 minutes can be done. See, like this. I will tell you how why do we make lesser time and all in the next one. So I will say, and it is asking, do you want to configure the DHCP scope options? Yes, I want to configure it now. Then you have to tell the router IP. Router IP is 192.168.168.190, sorry, 10.1. So this will be given by our network team. Whenever you get a request to create the DHCP scope, this information will be given by the DHCP so network team, or the location site contact will give you the details. Everything they'll give you. You just have to create it. That's all. So you'll say next, and see DNS by default automatically take it took actually our DC01 IP address it is. Let me go next. Win server means before DNS in the server 2003 and all we were using Windows Information Service. Okay. So now we are not using it because we are using DNS. That is the reason. So do you want to activate the scope? Yes, I want to activate the scope. Say next and finish. And if you see now, once I click on the finish, my new scope got created. See, this is my new scope. See, it has got the address pool. I have given the address 192.168.10.1 to 192.168.10.254. And if you want to see what all addresses are leased, you can just come and see it here. It will give you what is the IP address, what is the name, what is the lease expiration, what type of request it is, what is unique ID, what is the MAC ID, okay, probation, expiration, filtration, everything will be there. Is there any policy, is there any filter, anything is there, everything will be seen it here. So imagine if you are manually doing it, this tracking is very, very difficult. If you have 10,000 users, which user come to office today, which user not coming to office today, how many users newly joined, how many users resigned the organization. So taking the IP address packet is all very, very difficult. That is why this DHCP comes to picture. It will make your job easy. Okay. And if anything reservation is there, it will just come and sit here. Scope options can be seen here. Okay. Apart from these three options, you want to send any other information, you can just right click and configure options. You can select whatever configurations you wanted, and you can send that along with the IP address, DNS, subnet mask. You can also send this information. And the policies. Okay, allow DNA policy I told you now, the same thing here. Okay, you can create a new policy, whether it's allow policy or DNA policy. Then it will ask you whether enter the MAC ID. You have to enter the MAC ID and say finish. That's all. Now you want to see how many IP addresses are free for now. You just have to right click on the scope option, go to display statistics. If you click on the display statistics, you see you have total address are 254. If you remember that the range I have given from 10.1 to 10.254, that is the reason you see total address is 254. Number of used IP in use are 0 and available are 254. So now what I will do, I want to, now I think that okay, I have given all 254 for the DHCP. I think there will be a conflict. I need some 1020 IP address for the static usage. You want to exclude those IP address. What you will do, you will go to the scope here. You will just right click on the scope. You can say new exclusion range. What is the new exclusion range? I want the first 20 IP address should be excluded. 192.168.10.1 to 192.168.10.20. the 1 to 20. If you see 1 to 254 is there, 254 IP address were free. Now 1 to 20 I'm going to exclude. I've added, and you see here the IP address excluded from the distribution are 10.1 to 10.20. That means now if you right click on the scope and see the display statistics, it will tell you out of 254, 20 got excluded there, the remaining is 234. See, earlier it was showing 254. Now you have excluded to 20 IP address, then available is only 234. Now if a computer comes and asks, the DHCP will give the IP address from the 21, 10.21, 10.22, 10.23 up to goes to 10.254. That is how it is. Now, how to create a reservation? Okay, go to the reservation here. Okay, before you go there, try to take the MAC address of your computer. ipconfig slash all. Okay, this is MAC address is nothing but your physical address. See, let me take this MAC address, copy. See, it is alphabets and numeric and 12 digit is there. Now I have my MAC address. I'll go to reservation, right click on new reservation. I will tell you reservation name. Say for example, this is my boss PC, VIP hyphen boss hyphen PC01. Boss is using PC01, and I want to give this 10 dot is no out of 10.21 to 10.254 is there. What I will do, I will just assign maybe 50. 50 should go to always to the same MAC address, because this MAC address is having it is there in my boss computer, correct na? So I will enter this is boss PC. It has some firewall exclusion. This IP, this particular IP has got some firewall exclusion. He can access any website. He can access LinkedIn. He can access Facebook. He can access some other share market related websites and all. That is why we are having always 50 to him, so that in the firewall, this 50 from the 50, all the traffics are allowed. Okay. So let me add it here. This can be, you can select both. So add and done. See, now a new reservation got created here, boss PC. And now if you go to the address pool, address leases, you can see one thing. Earlier it was empty. Now I have reserved one reservation I have done. See here what information you see. You see the IP address 10.50. Who is using? Boss is using. What is the lease duration? It says inactive because it is reservation. Okay. And here the unique ID for that, that is all to DHCP server understanding. Okay. All this information will be coming here. You can that right click and you can export that information if you want. See export list, and you can store it in the DHCP lease. Okay, and if you can put it CSV, or also you can put it, okay, or you can put it CSV is good, so that you can open it in the Excel sheet. Okay, you can just double click on that. What you can use, notepad you can use. See, all the information can be seen here. You can even convert to the columns if you open it in the Excel sheet. Okay, so that is about the leasing. Now you understand how to create a scope, how to create the exclusion, how to create the reservation. Okay, now I told you, na, you can even make the changes of the lease duration. Just go to the scope option, go to properties, and here 8 days is there. Why do you may ask a question, sir? Why should I reduce the lease duration? Imagine you are running one conference at your office. To that conference, not only your office colleagues, your vendor, okay, and your stakeholders, shareholders, everybody will be coming to the conference. And the office, okay, I mean, you already have around 150 users in the office, but you are expecting in the conference more than 200 users. So what you will do when you come and look at this lease, na, the statistics, it says only 50 IP addresses are free or 100 IP addresses are free, but you are expecting 200 users. So that time what you will do, you know that all the users will not come to office conferences. What you will do, you want to take the IP address back to the address pool. What you will do, instead of having this 8 days, what you can do, you can make it 0 and make this as 5 minutes. So what it will do, it will just go and check in the lease here, address leases, whatever lease is given more than 5 minutes older, all the IP address it will take it back, and the pool will become more. Means that 100 user 100 IP address free are there, no, that will become now more than 200 or 250. Okay, then you have enough IP address to accommodate all the users who are coming for the conference. So if you have such kind of difficulties or such kind of scenarios, you can play with the least duration. Nobody will tell you anything. Okay, that is left to you. You are the administrator and you know very well of your office thing. Then you can play however the way you want it. Okay, I think that's all. How to check the DHCP services? Okay, sometimes what happens, the DHCP, like it will be now, it will be stopping like this. If you go to all task here, okay, if you go to all task here, it will be stopped. So how to check the DHCP services? You can just go to services.msc. Okay, services.msc. Not only DHCP service, all the services which runs in the computer will be visible here only. Okay, if you want to see the DNS service, see, if you just click DNS, it just gives you DNS server. So it is running. See, it is running. If you want to DHCP, just type DHCP. See DHCP, it is automatic, but it is not running. See, so people will tell you DHCP is not leasing the IP address. I'm not getting the IP address. You just come to this console and you are just checking the DHCP server service. Okay, though it is automatic, but the status is say it is blank. Your work has to do right click and start the services. Once you start the services, see it will become running. See, it is running now. Now if you go to the DHCP option here and just refresh it here and see it is now green. Okay, and if you want to take the backup, just right click and you have an option called backup. Okay, where you want to store, you can just go to the option where you want to store. Okay, and you can export it. So I want to store it in the desktop. If you say okay, and everything will be in, it will be stored in the desktop. See, DHCP CFG. This file is enough. What you can do, you can install the DHCP role in some other server. Just go here and you will have option called restore. Okay, let me show you that. Let me do one thing. I will just delete this lease option. Okay, this three options I will delete. Lease also I will delete this one. See, nothing is there. Scope in the address pool also I have this one. Let me delete this one also. Or let me delete the scope only. Let me delete the scope. Okay, nothing is there now. Now you want to restore it. Right click on this. Go to restore. Go to the desktop. See, it got restored now. See, now the Bangalore came. Correct, huh? And if you see address pool, see address pools are there 1 to 254. Sorry, 10.1 to 10.254, 10.1 to 10.20, and the leases I have deleted. Now, see that is also came. This is what the DHCP backup and restoration. So that's all about the DHCP, guys. Any questions? Let me stop the recording once again.